the first topic in the chapter Kingdom Animalia, that is Animal Kingdom. As already we started this topic, that is the basis of classification. Basis of classification. In that, different bases are useful to classify the Kingdom Animalia. In last class, we discussed about the first and very important basis to classify the Kingdom Animalia, that is levels of organization. So there are 4 levels of organization in Kingdom Animalia. The animals are organized in 4 levels: cellular level, tissue level, organ level, and organ system level. So based on these levels of organization, the Kingdom Animalia is divided into 2 subkingdoms, Parazoa and Eumetazoa. See, except the phylum Porifera, remaining all animals exhibit either tissue level organization or organ level organization or organ system level of organization. The only phylum with the cellular level of organization is Porifera. So this Porifera is a member in the subkingdom Parazoa, the only phylum that included in the subkingdom Parazoa is Porifera. And Eumetazoa, from Cnidaria to Chordata. Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, and Chordata. All these phyla exhibit from tissue to organ system level of organization in this. Cnidaria and Ctenophora exhibit tissue level of organization, whereas Platyhelminthes exhibit organ level of organization. From Aschelminthes to Chordata, organ system level of organization is present. So the highest level of organization here is organ system level of organization, and the least level of organization is cellular level of organization, right? That we discussed in last class. Based on the first basis, that is levels of organization, how the organisms are, how the animals are classified. The Kingdom Animalia is divided into 2 subkingdoms, Parazoa and Eumetazoa, based on the levels of organization. And after completion of that, in this class, we are going to discuss about the remaining basis of classification. In the part of that, the first one we are discussing here is symmetry. Symmetry. See, this is also one of the important bases to classify the animals. What is symmetry? What is symmetrical organism? Or what is asymmetrical organism? See, symmetry means the arrangement of paired body parts. The arrangement of paired body parts in a particular manner, which will provide a chance to cut the organism into 2 exact halves. 2 exact halves. So here, for example, paired body parts. Paired body parts are the characters of most of the animals. Paired body parts are present. These paired body parts should arrange in equidistant from central axis of the body. For example, see my hands. These 2 hands are arranged in equidistant from my central axis of the body. Then only there is a chance to cut the organism into 2 exact halves. If any organism should be cut into 2 exact halves through a plane that passes through the central axis of the body, that animals are known as symmetrical organisms or symmetrical animals. If there is a chance to cut an organism into 2 exact halves or 2 mirror images, okay, 2 exact halves through a plane that must be passed through the central axis of the body, that is known as symmetrical organism. If there is no chance to cut the organism into 2 exact halves through any plane that passes through the central axis of the body, that organisms are known as asymmetrical organisms. Okay. So here, the paired body, for example, these 2 are the hands which are arranged in equidistant from the central axis of the body. It is symmetrical. If one hand is arranged there, another hand is arranged here, is it useful for the organism? No. So in the animals, especially, the paired body parts are arranged in equidistant from the central axis of the body. Then only the animals can survive effectively. The animal can functions. The animal can do its functions effectively. Otherwise, it is not possible. So write down the definition for symmetry. See, it is actually the geometrical arrangement of paired body parts in organisms in equidistant from the central axis of the body, which provide a chance to cut the organism into two exact halves that passes through central axis of the body. Okay, write down the definition first. First, the geometrical arrangement of of paired body parts the geometrical arrangement of paired body parts in equidistant from central axis of the body, which allows to cut the organism into two exact halves through a plane or through any plane that passes through central axis of the body. Through central axis of the body. So the geometrical arrangement of the paired body parts. The geometrical arrangement of paired body parts in equidistant from central axis of the body, which allows to cut the organism into two exact halves through any plane that passes through the central axis of the body is known as symmetry. Okay. So, did you understood what is symmetry? It is actually symmetry means the arrangement of body parts in a geometrical manner, in a particular manner. Okay. So, in a particular or in a geometrical fashion, in equal distance from the central axis of the body. Because of that, we can cut the organism into two exact halves. Is it clear? What is symmetric organism? If the organism can be cut into two exact halves, these two exact halves are looking like mirror images. We can call that as the antimers. That are also known as antimers. If we cut the organism into antimers means mirror images. Antimers. So if there is any chance to cut an organism into two exact halves, that is mirror images or antimers. If we cut an organism into antimers, that organism is known as symmetrical organism. For example, if you observe here, see, this is a sponge. It is actually a sponge. Can you cut this sponge into two exact halves through any plane that passes through the central axis of the body? Can you cut this? Is it possible to cut this into two exact halves? Observe carefully. Is it possible? Can we cut this into two exact halves? No, there is no chance to cut. So if you will try to cut this plane which passes through the central axis of the body, you cannot get two equal halves. if you try to cut in this axis which passes through the central axis, in any plane, if you try to cut this organism into two exact halves, it is not possible. So this type of organisms are known as asymmetrical organisms. Asymmetrical organisms. Is it clear? So asymmetrical organisms. What is asymmetrical organism? If an organism cannot be divided into antimers through any plane that passes through the central axis of the body, is known as asymmetrical organism. Asymmetry means, what is asymmetry? If there is no chance to divide an organism into antimers or two exact halves via any plane that passes through the central axis of the body, that type of organisms are known as asymmetrical organisms. What is the difference between asymmetrical and symmetrical, Manav? In asymmetrical organisms, there is no chance to cut the organism into two exact halves through a plane that passes through the central axis of the body. But whereas in symmetrical organisms, we can cut the organism or we can divide the organism into antimers or mirror images that passes through the central axis of the body, through any plane that passes through the central axis of the body. That you should notice. You will see here, there is no chance to cut this organism into two exact halves. For example, you will see, and one more thing you should notice here, in the case of symmetry, in the symmetry, we should consider only the morphological characters or only external features, not internal organs, not visceral system. Okay, only external parts should be divided into equal halves, not internal. For example, if we cut an organism into, if we cut a human being into two exact halves, you will see right and left halves. So all parts will equally divide, but you will see internally, heart is located on left side, stomach is located on left side, liver is located on right side. Is it possible to cut this human being into two exact halves? It will consider the visceral organs, no chances. So symmetry is mainly for morphological. Okay, so it is mainly for external organs, not about the internal organs, that you should keep in your mind. Right? Now I am drawing one animal here. You will imagine this as any type of animal as you wish. Whatever this animal, I also don't know. Okay, so just I am drawing. Maybe it is a reptile. So it is actually an animal. If also this animal, for example, it is a wall lizard. It is a wall lizard. Is there any chance to cut this into two exact halves? Is there any chance to cut this into two exact halves? That you should notice here. So if you see, so here, two eyes. Okay. Now I can divide this into two exact halves through a plane, that is the anterior-posterior plane that passes through the central axis of the body. Now the body is divided into two exact halves. So this is actually known as symmetrical. It is symmetrical. So symmetrical organisms can be divided into two exact halves. Symmetrical organisms can be divided into two exact halves. That you should notice here. So it is asymmetrical, it is symmetrical. Is it clear? See, all the poriferans exhibit, except some exemptions are there, like leucoselenia. Leucoselenia, that is symmetrical. There are some exemptions in the poriferans, but majority of the poriferans are asymmetrical. So it is asymmetry. There is no chance to divide the animal into antimers or two exact halves or two equal halves or two mirror images by a plane that passes through the central axis. So it is asymmetrical. This is asymmetrical. What is the example for asymmetrical organisms? Majority of the sponges are poriferans. Majority of the poriferans exhibit asymmetry, right? If you'll see the amoeba, is there any symmetry for that? Can you cut this into two exact halves? Amoeba is the only shapeless organism, so we cannot cut this into two exact halves. So it is also asymmetrical. It is asymmetrical. Maybe you got the idea what is symmetry and what is asymmetry. Symmetry means the paired body parts are arranged in equal distance from the central axis of the body. So we can cut the organism into two exact halves by a plane that passes through the central axis. Okay. But what about asymmetry? Here, if paired body parts are present but that are not arranged in equidistant, so there is no geometric fashion of arrangement of organs. We cannot cut that organism into two exact halves, so that are asymmetrical, right? Majority of the animals are symmetrical, except poriferans, and also some exemptions are there, like in anthozoans, in gastropods. Say, especially anthozoans also there is a symmetry, but mainly in the gastropoda, after torsion there will be asymmetry. That all we will discuss, right? Now, what are the types of symmetry? What are the types of symmetry that we will discuss? So, based on the arrangement of body parts in a geometric fashion, and based on the chance to cut an organism into two antemers or two equal halves by a plane that passes through the central axis, animals are classified as symmetrical animals or asymmetrical animals, right? In the symmetrical animals, based on the number of planes available to cut the organism into antemers, based on the number of planes available to cut the organism into antemers, what are the types of symmetry that we should discuss now? So now here, types of symmetry. Based on what symmetry is divided? Based on the number of planes available to cut an organism into two exact halves. Based on number of planes. For example, if you observe here, if it is an organism, through how many planes you can divide the organism into two exact halves that passes through the central axis? This is the central axis. Okay. You can cut this organism into two exact halves through like this. Right? You can cut this organism into two exact halves up and down. Okay. Right? That is two exact halves. Okay. And you may cut this organism into two exact halves through this plane also. One second. Is two. Okay. So here, how many planes are available to cut the organism into two exact halves or to divide the animal into antemers? There are many planes available. Many planes are available. So, if more planes or more than one plane is available to cut an organism into antemers, so how many planes are available? Many. If many planes are more than one plane, if more than one plane is available to cut an organism into two antemers or two exact halves. One second, sorry. Okay, ma? Right? Sorry for the inconvenience. Just also. Okay, right? So the symmetrical organisms are classified further based on the number of planes available to cut the organism into two exact halves. If there is more than one plane available to divide the organism into antimers, that plane must be passed through the central axis of the body. So that type of symmetry is known as radial symmetry. So through many rays, it will observe if these are like rays through many planes, right? This type of symmetry is known as radial symmetry. Radial symmetry. What is radial symmetry? What is radial symmetry? If more than one plane is available to cut an organism into two exact halves, that plane must be passed through the central axis of the body. So that type of symmetry is known as radial symmetry. What is radial symmetry? If more than one plane or many planes, if more than one plane or many plane, if more than one plane allows to divide the organism into antimers, to divide the organism into antimers. That type of symmetry is known as radial symmetry. So symmetrical organisms, what is symmetry? The geometrical arrangement of eight body parts in equidistant from the central axis of the body, which will provide a chance to cut the organism into two exact halves, which are known as antimers, through a plane that passes through the central axis of the body, right? And that you have to observe here. If the number of planes are more than one, or if there are many planes, to cut the organism into two exact halves, that type of symmetry is known as radial symmetry, right? And if you will observe one more here, diagrammatic representation, just you will see this like a small crab. How could you divide this? How many planes are available to cut this organism into two exact halves? We can cut or we can divide this into antimers through or by a single plane that passes through the central axis of the body. So if you cut the animal in this plane, you will get two parts, two halves, right and left halves, right and left halves. So there is only one plane. Through that plane only, you can divide the animal or you can divide that organism into two exact halves, So this type of symmetry is known as bilateral symmetry. Two. Lateral means left and right, lateral sides. Okay. So we can divide the animal into two parts. Which are the parts? Right and left parts. So bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry. So what is bilateral symmetry? If the organism can be divided into two exact halves or antimers by only one plane that passes through the central axis of the body, that is bilateral symmetry. Okay, what is bilateral symmetry? If there is only one plane that allow to divide the organism into two exact halves or two antimers, that type of symmetry is known as bilateral symmetry. What about radial symmetry? How many planes are available? Many planes are available, more than one plane. Okay, so by that planes which passes through the central axis, we can easily divide the organism into two exact halves or antimers. So that is what radial, okay, radial symmetry. But what about bilateral symmetry? We can divide the animal or any other organisms in some, okay, as a zoology you'll consider here animals only. So if we'll divide the animal into right and left halves through only one plane, okay, that is what? That is bilateral symmetry. You do understand the types of symmetry? Symmetry is of two types: radial symmetry, bilateral symmetry. Radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. And one more thing you have to remember here: in the radial symmetry, if the number of planes is fixed, again we could classify that into different types. For example, if there is only two planes divides the organism into two exact halves. Only two planes, ma. The number of planes is fixed. More than one means it is radial symmetry. More than one plane is available, but how many are there? Only two are there. So it is known as biradial symmetry, not bilateral. Biradial symmetry, ma. What is biradial symmetry? It is a type of radial symmetry actually, because more than one plane is available to cut the organism into two exact halves, but the number of planes is not more, only two. How many chances are there to cut the organism into two exact halves? Two chances. More than one chance means it is radial symmetry. Here the number of planes are fixed, that is two, so biradial symmetry. Biradial symmetry, that you have to remember. Biradial symmetry. Is it clear? If there is availability of 5 planes, that is pentaradial or pentamerous radial symmetry. For example, you will see the starfish. We can divide the starfish through 5 different planes that passes through the central axis. But all you will see this is the starfish. You can divide this into equal halves through 5 planes. How many planes are available to cut the starfish into two exact halves? 5. So that type of radial symmetry, more than one plane means it is radial symmetry, but the number is fixed, that is 5. So the type of radial symmetry is known as pentamerous radial symmetry. So pentamerous radial symmetry also a type of radial symmetry. Okay. So biradial symmetry, pentamerous radial symmetry. What is the differences between biradial and pentamerous radial symmetry, ma? In biradial symmetry, the organism can be divided into antimers only through 2 planes. Okay, how many planes are available? If number of planes is 2, that is biradial. If number of planes are 5, that is pentamerous radial. If more number of planes allowed to cut the organism into two exact halves or antimers, that is radial. Okay, more than one, all are radial. If more than one plane allows to cut the organism into two exact halves or antimers, that is radial symmetry. In this radial symmetry, biradial symmetry and pentamerous radial symmetry are 2 important types. Pentamerous radial symmetry. So this type of symmetry is there in the starfish. Already I gave you Asterias. Not only starfish, pentamerous radial symmetry is the character of Echinodermata phylum echinodermata, important one. So the adult echinoderms. In the adult echinoderms, which type of symmetry is present? Pentamerous radial symmetry. In adult starfish, which type of symmetry is present? Pentamerous radial symmetry. But the larvae of these echinoderms, has only bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry. This is very important thing you should notice now. So actually, in the larval stage, the echinodermata animals exhibit bilateral symmetry. But the adult echinoderms exhibit which type of symmetry? A type of radial symmetry, that is a pentamerous radial symmetry. Let me ask in competitive mark. In larval forms of echinodermata, which type of symmetry is present? That is bilateral symmetry. What about in adults? In adults, pentamerous radial symmetry is present. Pentamerous radial symmetry is the character of adult echinoderms. And what about the examples for radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry, ma? Maybe I didn't give here. What are the examples for radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry? Radial symmetry is a character of two important phyla. One is Cnidaria, another one is Ctenophora. The two phyla in kingdom Animalia that exhibit radial symmetry is Cnidaria and Ctenophora. Cnidaria and Ctenophora are the two phyla that exhibit radial symmetry. Radial symmetry. For example, you will see the Hydra, jellyfish. Okay. In that, which type of symmetry is there? That is radial symmetry. Radial symmetry. In Cnidarians and also in Ctenophores, there is radial symmetry. What about bilateral symmetry? Bilateral symmetry is the most advanced type of arrangement of paired body parts. So this bilateral symmetry we can consider as the highly evolved characteristic feature in the animals. Bilateral symmetry. It is one of the very important key transition in the evolution of animals. So bilateral symmetry is the most advantageous for the animals. Okay, majority of the animals have which symmetry? That is bilateral symmetry. What are the phyla that exhibit bilateral symmetry here? See, bilateral symmetry is the character of Platyhelminthes to Chordata. So, which phyla exhibit this? Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, and Chordata. So majority of the phyla in kingdom Animalia exhibit which symmetry? Bilateral symmetry from Platyhelminthes to Chordata. Okay, so all exhibit bilateral symmetry, right? Human belongs to which phylum? Chordata. So human also exhibit symmetry, bilateral symmetry, right? All the vertebrates like the fishes, amphibians, reptiles, aves, mammals, all that exhibit a bilateral symmetry that you should notice. So I mentioned here about the echinoderms. If you observe here, echinoderms also exhibit bilateral symmetry, but only in the larval stages. Echinoderms exhibit bilateral symmetry only in their larval stages. What about in adult echinodermates? In adult echinodermat, there is pentamerous radial symmetry. Pentamerous radial symmetry. I mentioned here biradial symmetry. Biradial symmetry is the character of some cnidarians. See, the cnidarians which belongs to class Anthozoa. Okay. So in the phylum Cnidaria, there are three classes. Phylum Cnidaria is divided into three classes. In that, one of the classes is Anthozoa. So there are three classes: Hydrozoa, Scyphozoa, and Anthozoa. So Anthozoa is a class in the phylum Cnidaria, right? See, actually, what is the symmetry in the Cnidarians? Cnidarians are radially symmetrical. Radial symmetry is present in the Cnidarians. But if you will see here, in the class Anthozoa, in the class Anthozoa, it is a class in the phylum Cnidaria. In the phylum Cnidaria, the class Anthozoa has biradial symmetry. Biradial symmetry. So biradial symmetry is the characteristic feature of Anthozoans. Anthozoans, right? That you should notice here. Is it clear? That is clear about the symmetry, right? Pentamerous radial symmetry is the character of adult echinodermats. And one more thing you should notice here. If you see the molluscans, mollusca, the second largest phylum. The first largest phylum is Arthropoda in kingdom Animalia, and the second largest phylum Mollusca. In this Mollusca, one class, that is Gastropoda. In Mollusca, phylum Mollusca, we will discuss all the classification of this later. Just for your understanding, we are discussing here symmetry, so I am giving that concepts here. In Mollusca, one phylum, Gastropoda. Gastropoda. For example, the snail, the garden snail, belongs to which class? Gastropoda. So Mollusca is the phylum, Gastropoda is the class. See, in Gastropoda, which type of symmetry is there? According to this, all molluscans exhibit bilateral symmetry, but in the Gastropodons, there is one important event takes place in the body, that is the torsion formation. See, in these organisms, for example, it is the body of an organism. It is the body of a gastropod. In this organism, the body of that organism will rotate 180 degrees anti-clockwise. 180 degree anti-clockwise. So you all know that in the snail, the body is fixed in the shell. How the body is fixed in the shell? To fix the body into the shell, the body will rotate into 180 degrees. The visceral mass, okay, the all visceral mass will be rotated 180 degrees anti-clockwise. If it is an organism, observe here, if it is an organism like this, okay, so we may cut this into two exact halves through a plane. But now this is rotated like this. How could we cut this into two exact halves? Is there any chance to cut the organism into two exact halves? There is no chances. So because of a process, that is the torsion, the body of gastropods will rotate 180 degrees anti-clockwise. So we cannot cut the organism into two exact halves. Now which type of symmetry is there in the gastropods, adult gastropods? In adult gastropods, these are asymmetrical, important. Asymmetrical. Adult gastropods are asymmetrical. But what about the larvae? The larvae of gastropods are symmetrical. That is, bilateral symmetry is there. In the larval stages of gastropods, bilateral symmetry is present. But whereas in adult after torsion, that will become asymmetrical. These are some exemptions I am giving, ma. Actually, Echinodermata, Mollusca, both have bilateral symmetry, but in the Mollusca, especially in Gastropoda, after torsion, the body, the visceral mass will rotate 180 degrees anti-clockwise, then they will become asymmetrical. So the larvae of gastropods is bilaterally symmetrical, but the adults after torsion will asymmetrical. If you see in the Echinodermata, the larvae of Echinodermata are bilaterally symmetrical, but the adult Echinoderms are pentamerous radially symmetrical. If you will see the Cnidarians are radially symmetrical, but in the case of Anthozoans, there is only two planes that provide to cut the organism into two exact halves. So it is biradial symmetry. Biradial symmetry. So that is about symmetry. Listen once again. See, symmetry is the geometric arrangement of paired body parts in equidistant from the central axis of the body, which will provide a chance to divide the animal into antimers or two exact halves. Okay, but this should be divided by a plane that must be passed through the central axis of the body. If there is no chance to divide the organism into two exact halves by any plane that passes through the central axis of the body, that organisms are known as asymmetrical. But majority of the animals are symmetrical. The only one phylum possess asymmetrical organisms are Porifera. So Poriferans are the asymmetrical animals. There is also some symmetrical, but majority of the Poriferans or sponges are asymmetrical. And symmetrical organisms, based on the number of planes, divides the organism into two exact halves. It is of two types: radial symmetry, bilateral symmetry. In radial symmetry, by many planes that passes through the central axis of the body, we can divide the organism into two exact halves. Okay. If the number of planes is fixed, only two planes are there, that is biradial symmetry. If 5 planes are there, that is pentamerous radial symmetry. What about in bilateral symmetry? How many planes are available to cut the organism into two exact halves? Only one plane. Only one plane. Through one plane, a single plane, only we can cut the organism into two exact halves. That is also right and left halves. Bilateral. Bi means two. Lateral sides means left and right side. So we can divide the animal into left and right halves by a single plane that passes through the central axis of the body. Okay. What are the examples for this radial symmetry? Cnidaria and Ctenophora. The phylum Cnidaria and Ctenophora exhibit radial symmetry, and majority of the phyla from Platyhelminthes to Chordata exhibit bilateral symmetry, which is the most advanced character in the evolution of animals, right? Even they possess this type of bilateral symmetry, but some exemptions are there in Echinodermata and Mollusca. In Echinodermata, larval forms exhibit bilateral symmetry, but adults exhibit pentamerous radial symmetry, whereas in the gastropoda of Mollusca, larval stages exhibit bilateral symmetry, but adult gastropods after torsion will become asymmetrical. We cannot divide that. So how this basis, that is symmetry, is useful to divide the or classify the kingdom Animalia. See, based on the symmetry, the subkingdom Eumetazoa is divided into two grades: radiata and bilateria. Radiata and bilateria. So how that radiata and bilateria are classified based on the